Welcome to an early edition of the All Sports Matter podcast. I am your boy JB, and you see what my name is. We got a lot to talk about, so let's bring my brothers in. Mr. Moore, let's go Knicks, and Mr. Cook something. Jump on in here, talk to the people.
What up? What up? What up?
What's happening? What's going on?
A couple minutes early won't never hurt nobody.
Won't hurt nobody.
So, if anything, that's what I'm wanting to hear my whole life. A couple minutes early ain't
ain't gonna touch it.
A couple minutes early, not a couple of minutes.
Not a couple minutes. So let's jump right into it, shall we, fellas? Schedule was released. Do y'all like y'all team's odds? Are the odds in y'all favor?
Hell no.
I like my schedule. I got a lot of factors that need to play out for me to say I am completely comfortable with it, but I can deal with it. I like it. I like getting the hard games out of the way early too.
Fleck?
I can see Tennessee starting 1-5, 0-6.
I like the 49ers schedule. I'm gonna need them to win the winnable games, unlike what they normally do, because the first few games should be fairly winnable before they get to that hard stretch after the bye week. So I do like the fact that they got a Thanksgiving and a Christmas game. I get behind that.
Yeah, I support the Christmas game.
That's gonna be a jarring affair. I'm just hoping that's the point of the season where Lamar Jackson already hurt.
Jeez.
I'm wishing it on him because I can't have it. Just that one game.
What the hell?
Just that one game. Just have
injury on anybody.
You don't have a healthy quarterback right now. So
that's why I wish injury on
from?
everybody's quarterback, because I wanted to be even across the board. I don't want y'all to have healthy quarterbacks and then I don't. Not having everything else healthy. That don't make sense. You saw what happened in the NFC Championship game. You had everything but a quarterback and couldn't do nothing.
You got Mr. Glass at running back. You might not want to wish ill health on anybody.
Who your running back is?
Derrick Henry.
You sure? Who your quarterback is?
What they got to do with what I just
said? I want to hear. I wish nothing but Ryan Tannehill on you for the next 15 years.
Goodness gracious, no. With Ryan Tannehill on you, got to be more careful.
15 years.
Look,
15 months.
Let me tell you, you're on the subject of the schedule, and as much as I like to hate on the Titans, I actually like that Titans schedule. Now, if they come out with how they started last year, let me finish, Fleck. If they come out with how they started last year, with health was the issue towards the end of the season, not at the beginning. Again, if they come out, and a lot of those games are 50-50, they start out with the Saints, and they got the Cardinals, and it depends on
they got the Saints, Chargers,
so
Browns,
the Chargers, Bengals are the two I expect them to not have a chance. Ravens, quite possibly the third. But after that, it's like if you can go out of there 3-3, after that, your season is almost a cake. Almost. That's what I'm saying. That schedule is favorable.
We play Jacksonville,
especially in that division right now.
We play Jacksonville twice after that, though. So that first 6-game stretch, we got bye week 7. That first 6-game stretch, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 0-6. Optimistic, 2-4. That's me being optimistic, 2-4.
The Steelers don't scare anybody offensively.
But we don't have the Steelers until after the bye week. We got the Saints week 1, Chargers, Browns, Bengals, Colts, Ravens.
Right. Colts, Browns, Saints are winnable. That's why I said they're a coin flip.
They are, because the coach
they're winnable.
Nothing with their coaching staff. The only thing they did was get Derek Carr.
But
especially week 1, you don't know if Derek Carr's gonna go out there.
But the issue, aside from saying health, was the lack of receivers. We did nothing to address that. Like nothing.
That's true.
Like zero. Nothing.
I agree with that. I'm not saying they won the division. What I'm saying is the way they started last year which was the same questions you had this year. No wide receivers. Well, you lost Taylor Lewan as well, but it's like they battled. The Titans were good. They weren't great. They weren't bad. Those toss-up games, they were all in those games, 50-50. They didn't lose a division until like week 16, week 17 last year. They were ahead of the division the entire time.
And it shouldn't have been that close. Josh Dobbs. Like, it shouldn't have been that close. Josh Dobbs came in and played like the second coming of Tom Brady or somebody down the stretch.
Like I said, if they start off the way they started last year, those 50-50 games can go either way. That's all I'm saying. The first 6-7 games of the schedule.
Right.
Week 7 is the Falcons. We don't know what they are about.
I just hope this NFL season is not as hectic and crazy as the NBA season has been. And it's a lot of people saying it, and you can hear the rumblings, and you don't have to agree with it. You can agree with it; it's up to you. But stuff started going wonky as soon as sports betting became legal. So, do you think that the NFL season can be affected the same way the NBA season was? Because you've never seen stuff like this happen in the NBA the way it's been happening and playing out this season.
So it's still up to the states, though.
I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist.
No.
I'm just asking a question. Just asking it out there.
As long as you're not sitting in your locker room, let me place this parlay real quick.
Right.
And go from there. And you're wrong.
Well, look, I'm gonna miss about this many tackles, so we can go ahead and get this score in.
Long as you don't who's that?
Win this money.
The Detroit Lions. Long as you don't
Jameson Williams.
Are we skipping past that? All the rest of the schedules?
No, we ain't skipping past it.
Okay.
Well, speaking of all this money, the Commander's sale is finalized, right? It just happened.
Now it's finalized.
It's not finalized. The NFL owners have to approve it, but
yeah, they have to ratify.
Expect it to be.
They have to ratify, but it's been signed and all that stuff. So now it's just.
But here's something.
Snyder and Josh Harris agreed to sell on a sale.
But here's something I don't understand. You gotta get the owner's approval just to sell it. Then they got the owner's approval for a new guy to buy it.
Right.
It doesn't. Something doesn't make sense. Doesn't sound right.
They got to make sure that guy
sell it, but it's only to who we want you to buy it.
I got to make sure he lined up with our values. Now we can't have nobody that's gonna come in and allow them to do stuff that we don't like.
Hold on, I'll say it. What values you want? The good old boy value?
Exactly. That's exactly. Dude. We can't have people coming up in here that's go disrupt the national anthem and all that other stuff. You need
I'm
to
tell you right now. Snoop Dogg is trying to buy the Ottawa Senators, hockey team. I'm all for it. I'm not saying he's going to pass out doobies every game. But what I'm saying is you got a diversity going across, and that's what you want. Especially A, in hockey, and then B, you want to get away from the Bob McNairs of the world, or the Daniel Snyders of the world. You want to get away from that stigma.
But that's
so
the
I don't
thing.
understand. Hell, you might want to get away from Jerry Jones at this point. I'll throw that out there.
But that's the thing. The only league that's sticking with that is the NFL. The NBA, everybody else is moving away from that. Even the NBA, they changed the name. They're not called owners anymore. They're called governors because they don't want to make it seem like they own people. So the NFL is the only one that's still behind the times.
I think that's a little bit too much. They're owners of the team. We get it. You own the team. I get it. Yeah. I get what they're trying to do, though. I get it, but you're nobody's governor.
But when all that stuff came out with the dude from the Clippers, where he was doing all this and he was trying to ban people.
Yeah,
it's like The Walking Dead. You're not gonna, you're not gonna have a governor run a team. But I get their concept though, and they are diversifying, but that's still part of cancel culture. A lot of people,
yeah.
I know. You can't win or lose. I get it.
He said if he paid money, he own it.
Who that?
John Marshall. He crazy. Speaking of money passing around and changing hands, we got some rookie deals being signed, which I love to see these young men get their money as long as they know what to do with it and don't be out there acting crazy and driving 167 miles an hour. and they're not stealing from the state of Mississippi. Brett Favre, I'm still looking at you, Stiller. But
it takes away. I mean, now you know what I'm saying. Like each slot has a paid
body in it.
Like just sign it whenever you're gonna sign it. It's already you already know what you're gonna make based off where you were drafted. So
and that's
not like where it was before. Who was it? Sam Bradford when he got like the $80 million rookie deal.
Right. They don't get down like that no more. So it ain't no negotiations no more. It's just this. No. This is what you landed.
It's boilerplate now. You drafted in the 13th slot. They got a contract for that. It's just the language that's put into it. You know what I'm saying? It's probably different language put into different things. You know what I'm saying? But the money itself is already. You know,
and it's probably why Will Levis ain't got a girlfriend anymore, getting drafted in the second round. But I'll throw that out there. I'll start that rumor.
You got no 5th-year option.
I'll start that rumor.
The top 10
she called
fully guaranteed, right? The top 10 get fully guaranteed contracts, right?
What now?
Top 10 picks, they get fully guaranteed, correct?
I don't know.
I know.
Because I know Robinson got one.
Top 10.
Because I know Bijan got a fully guaranteed contract.
No, there's no such thing as fully guaranteed. Watson is the only player got a fully guaranteed contract.
The rookie contracts.
Rookie contracts.
Bijan Robinson just signed his, and it was.
Bijan Robinson is full guaranteed.
I never heard of that. Is it?
It's his whole contract is fully guaranteed.
But it's only like $21 million total over.
It's 21 total
over 4 years.
Yeah,
I guess they can get rid of that $21 million and. Yeah, I guess
I think only right.
I'll be happy to get. I direct deposit this morning for $221, and I got happy. I had to call the bank to make sure it was mine. I'm just saying, like it came out the blue. I will take it, but of course you got to call the bank to make sure. Hey, can I still spend this money at the bar tonight? Because that's just my life.
You got to make
sure. I don't want them problems.
Don't play that. I don't want none of them problems there. But. We'll go ahead and look that up and figure that out. If somebody out there in the land know, we see some people. Hold on, let's talk. Let's see who are with us tonight. Johnny Jones.
We had a statistician though.
Yeah, statistician. He looking.
What am I looking for?
Are the top 10 contract rookies are they guaranteed? Johnny Jones in the house. He said Bryce Young is a kid amongst men. All right.
He's talking reckless. Tell Johnny Jones stop that. Bryce Young, you can say he's a child amongst men, but I'm just saying you don't play in the SEC and win a Heisman as a quarterback.
He can't overlook that line, so he might want to roll right and roll left every other play.
Hey, you can say what you want, but he's been playing behind huge lines for how long now? So I'm just saying, because there are not smart guys in the SEC.
Nope.
So
anybody drafted in the first round can have a fully guaranteed contract. They're not automatically fully guaranteed.
See, that's why we have a statistician on staff.
That's why I said I never heard of. That's why they made a big deal about Deshaun Watson being fully guaranteed.
But I know Bijan Robinson just signed his and it's fully guaranteed. Right. So I mean, it says right there, rookies who are drafted from the they can be fully guaranteed first as long as you were drafted in the first round.
There you go. It's groundbreaking. It's groundbreaking, and we know all the first rounders get their 5th-year option sometimes if the teams look for it. Tito, what it do? John Marshall in the house.
Quincy Blunt.
Johnny Jones said the Titans definitely not. They don't have a clue who their quarterback is.
Oh, they know.
It's Ryan Tannehill.
They just don't want him. No, they know who their quarterback is. They just don't want him to be. That's a difference.
Now, wait a minute. Before we move on, Flick, will you please inform the crowd what are we going to do with these 3 quarterbacks that you have in place now in Tennessee?
Tannehill's going to start.
Yes.
And Levis and Willis going to battle for backup.
Willis
and then will they keep all 3 on the roster?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know at one point I heard they were thinking about cutting Willis.
They're not going to just up and cut Willis.
They said the Titans know who their quarterbacks is not.
They're not going to just up and cut Willis.
Okay.
There you go.
So are we talking about,
especially if, and this is a big if, you know what I'm saying? If the rumors are true and they're trying to trade Tannehill, they're definitely not going to trade Willis. They're going to let Willis and Levis battle it out. Willis got he didn't get a fair shake last year. I mean,
no,
yes, he didn't show anything, but I mean,
but he didn't mess up either. Though, really.
That system, we wouldn't have showed anything either.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
the
he
offensive
did.
line was garbage. There were
go.
no receivers.
Right.
So I mean,
I don't know.
You're not
Vrabel came from that Belichick system where he's like, we just need 1 and 2, and then the third one gonna be gone. Now I could see them putting him in a practice squad, you know, Malik Willis at this point.
Because a few years ago they kept Tannehill. I can't remember the guy that backed Tannehill up, but then Logan Whiteside was the third quarterback.
And you can do that up until the playoffs, right?
Huh?
You can do that up until the playoffs. In playoffs, you got to drop it down to 2, huh? Because they still
if you make the playoffs,
right?
If you make the playoffs,
man,
that's like putting the cart before the horse. We ain't got that far yet.
I am, and I've told y'all this since the middle of last year. I am all for Tennessee not doing crap this year.
Why?
Because what are we going to do? We're going to go 9-8, possibly make the playoffs, get put out in the first round, pick in the 20s. I'd rather just don't get that out of the way. We know Tannehill's not going to be there next year.
So you gonna draft another quarterback?
No, but Tannehill's not going to be there next year unless he come out and have an MVP season this year. He's not going to be there next year.
But you can't take if you go have an MVP season.
Well, you is not listening at all. So I'm just gonna let you talk. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what you won't. I'm gonna tell you what's going to happen. Well, Tannehill's gonna have another hot start like he always has. Looks good for 8 games, and they'll be 4-4, 5-3, something along those lines. And might even be ahead. You know,
average. You know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's quit doing that.
I get what you're saying, but that's just the stigma of the Titans and Tannehill. That's just what it is.
And that's what needs to get bumped. Let's quit doing it.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize.
If Levis or Willis is going to be the quarterback of the future, I mean, I am all for letting one of them two play and seeing what you got.
Right.
I believe you guys got the 5th easiest schedule in the NFL. With that being said, you don't go into the season already thinking of next season. You go in there and say, let's just win as many games.
Of course, NFL teams don't. But me as a fan, I can think like that.
I'm talking about them as an organization.
I know that's.
They're not gonna think like that.
Of course, the teams. Every team goes into the season thinking they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
not really. No.
But me as a fan base and me as a fan, I see what you've done to me the last 4 or 5 years.
Not everybody's Cowboys fans. So not everybody thinks that way. And I will pause for dramatic effect.
Fans, teams, the franchises. No franchise goes into the season saying we're going to suck.
We'll be middle of the pack.
No. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine what practice would be like if you went in there and say, hey, let's go in here and win 4 games. Come on, guys. Let's get in here and win these 4 games this season. Let's go, baby.
If you don't start your OTA saying you about to win the Super Bowl, something wrong.
Yeah, you gotta instill it.
As fans, yes, we can be annoying saying, "Hey, Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl." They do that every year.
Where do you think the term "trust the process" started from?
It wasn't Joel.
It was 5 years in Philly. We're talking about basketball really quick.
It wasn't Joel Embiid.
They went in and said, "Hey, no, for 5 seasons straight, we're playing for number 1." Now, them dummies did trade away Jason Tatum for Markelle Fultz.
And how much flack did they get for that, though?
I mean,
like there was, you know what I'm saying? Especially like in the media, there was media personalities wanting that team to be sold because they weren't trying.
But you don't think there's teams out there like that? And I'm gonna give you an example.
Yes, but you're not gonna come out and say that is what I'm saying. That's what
that's the part.
They literally don't have a person over $1 million per person. Like they just don't want they payroll is $31 million.
But did they come out at the beginning of the season and say, "Hey, we're going to suck on purpose"?
Right.
No, they said next question.
That's what I'm saying.
On to Vegas.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. The bingo or no, that's a bad example.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that the Texans are going into the season saying, "Hey, we're gonna suck on purpose."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna say that.
I like the moves the Texans made. I think they trying to make something happen. But
yeah,
two worst fan bases in the NFL right now is definitely the Cowboys and the Jets.
You know what I'm saying? That they may be doing that, but they're not gonna come out and say, "Hey, we're gonna tank."
And when you just mentioned the Texans, we get to find out what the Texans are made of first game. Because they played Baltimore very first game.
I'm telling you.
In Baltimore.
And I was telling Amir this last night. That Colts, the Colts team and that Texans team with DeMeco Ryan down there, they're going to surprise some people.
They're going to shock some people. And I pray it's not us. I pray it's not Baltimore.
They're not going to go to the Super Bowl. But they're gonna be competitive, is what I'm getting at. It's not gonna be like it was last year, where you know what I'm saying, you pretty much see the Texans on your schedule and you circle that as a win.
Right.
So I'll meet you halfway. I know I didn't agree with you last couple of days. We talked the last couple of times we talked about this, but I'll equate it to when we were watching these last few years, the Lions. I know we brought that up in a conversation where we knew they were losing. But it wasn't a blowout or there wasn't a given. It was always they played their butts off every game. You had to beat them at the end, and they were always there. And now they finally got a team that was like, hey, obviously everybody sees it. They got opening day game, which is a big deal in the NFL. But that's about as far as I'm going to say about the Texans and the Colts, because I'm going to give credit to the quarterbacks they drafted. I know C.J. Stroud's going to be a competitor. I know.
And I'm gonna give Anthony
Richardson another year.
Told you how I feel about that too.
Because I believe Gardner Minshew will be their starting quarterback to start the season. But the reason I'm saying that because Justin Fields started off hot last year. First 3 games, he was running his butt off, passing all over the place. Then they fell off. Then he just couldn't hit nobody. So
well, I mean, he was throwing it to Pop Warner, dang on wide receivers. I mean, he had nobody to throw it to. That's the thing. I mean,
Cole when they got him.
Yes, exactly.
Mooney stayed hurt
all the time.
Who was he?
The only person that was balling was the tight end.
Everybody says that, and me being a Giants fan, we had nobody to throw it to.
But you got.
But Slayton was playing his tail off. Now you have to admit, Slayton was playing his ass off last year.
Slayton has hands when he's healthy, and he usually not.
When he's healthy, right? And last year he balled out last year.
Isaiah Hodgkinson.
Isaiah Hodgins came on towards the end of the season, and he has the talent to do something.
But what I'm saying is, Daniel Jones had pieces
in place
around him that were there. Yes, your receiver room took a beating and couldn't stay healthy, but you had a healthy Barkley. You had Hodgins come out of nowhere. Slayton, he played pretty good.
We've seen Slayton for 3 seasons now. Be productive. He just can't stay healthy.
And
we had Kenny Golladay.
Daniel Jones was playing for a contract. This was a contract year for Daniel Jones too.
Well,
so
Golladay just
that fact either.
And Golladay came to steal money from y'all. That's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to rob y'all blind, and he succeeded. Because I don't know what happened with that. Guy went from 1,000+ yard receiver to coming to y'all and amassed a total of 1 or 2 touchdowns all season.
We got 1 touchdown.
That's what I thought. Only one,
right?
Yeah. Golladay.
Golladay
got 1 touchdown last year, right?
Yeah.
He got 1. He got 1 at the end. Yeah, they put it up. They put it in the news like he had 1 touchdown, and they made a whole big thing about it.
It must have been game 18 when nobody was paying attention to that game.
Basically, yeah, it was like game 18.
About it too.
Yeah, it was like game 18. He was
saying about it, but you said something.
And he's still a free agent. Just want to throw that out there.
Well, he's going to be a free whatever forever. I think his time has come and gone. So
yeah, he caught exactly one touchdown with y'all, and that was last year.
Last year, yeah.
Dude had a total of 16 catches for what?
Like I said for the beginning, we had 0 wide receivers.
He didn't have 16 catches. My bad.
I'm gonna stay true to that. We didn't have any wide receivers.
He had a total of 600 yards.
Oh, really?
He had that
many? In 2 seasons.
So,
okay. There we go. Oh, that makes sense.
You see how you buried the lead on that? See how you buried the lead? You just got everybody.
You come back in.
No.
Coffee crap. You wasn't even in there.
It don't matter.
When we was talking about how long he was there.
I don't even know who you even talking about, honestly.
Exactly. So be quiet.
I just wanted to say something because I needed to say something. But anyway,
I'm not sold on the Giants. I'm not sold on the Giants' schedule. I'd be happy to win 6 games next season.
I'm curious to see how your new wide receiver comes in and what he looks like. Because if he comes in and plays like he played last year and can show the route running, it could be interesting.
I'm just saying, Daniel Jones ain't got an arm. He's like the white Mac Jones. Like he'll get down.
No, you're not gonna do that. Nope, you're not doing that. Nope, you're not doing that.
Mac Jones?
You will not be able to compare those two.
Is
not
Mac
those
Jones
two.
Hispanic?
I'm just saying.
Is him
He said the white Mac Jones.
The only reason Daniel Jones got this contract because he was
he lived like this.
He ain't slinging it nowhere.
Yeah, through 8 games, I can see y'all winning 2.
I call 6.
Through 8 games?
I call it 6 and 11. Next
season. Total.
No, I said through the first 8 games. I'm just looking at the first 8 games.
Oh, that's murderous. I think the Cardinals, and that's even iffy. Depends on if Kyler Murray's out.
Kyler Murray plays like he wants
Cardinals to. and the Commodores.
Because Cardinals to me is not an easy victory. If Geno Smith decides to remember that he's last year Geno Smith, not 3 years ago Geno Smith, that's not an easy victory either. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say anything about Seattle. I'm talking about the Cardinals and the Commodores.
No, I'm looking at the schedule in my head. I ain't seen it. I had a nightmare about it. I woke up and chilled.
You said the Cardinals, but you said
after watching that schedule.
Hold up. You said the Cardinals isn't an
That's not an easy victory.
Bull.
Depending on who show up.
Depending on
how.
You know they have no Kyler Murray, right?
He's hurt, right?
Kyler Murray's healthy. Hopkins is healthy.
Kyler Murray's not healthy.
Kyler Murray hurt.
He hurt.
He's not gonna come back in the second half of the year.
They don't expect him back until late in the season.
Yeah,
we don't know that. He's out there in OTAs with those guys. He's doing,
they've already,
he might be walking around, waiting.
Came out and said that they don't expect him back until probably mid-season.
Until I see that name on the IL, I am going to give
him.
I'm not counting Kyler Murray being there.
Listening to nothing. So look, let me ask y'all this question before we move on to the other stuff, the other topics. What game on the schedule are y'all looking forward to seeing?
Super Bowl. The Knicks and Heat tonight. Wait, what are we talking about?
Both of y'all.
NFL.
I was like, what just happened? How do we flip so fast? We moved so quickly to another.
Super Bowl, he said the Knicks and the Heat.
Yeah, go ahead. Say it again, Jim.
We could have an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl rematch.
Hey, I thought the title of this show was Nothing Wrong with a Couple Minutes Too Early. So that was just me again. I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead and carry on.
If you're asking me what I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna say week 2 because we get to see what we really made of because we got the Bengals week 2, and so I'm quite looking forward to that.
Remember, we got the Cowboys week 1, and there's nothing worse than losing to these guys.
I thought y'all had the Commodores week 1.
No,
I thought y'all had the
Cowboys week 1. Sunday Night Football.
They got the Cowboys.
Oh, I thought the Giants had the Commodores. Okay.
No, but you know what's worse than losing the Cowboys? Losing the Cowboys 20-19, where both teams suck, but you can't tell them that they suck a little bit better.
You suck just a little bit more than
you know what I'm saying? You know how hard that is to argue against a Cowboys fan when
like
they beat you by 1 every time? And you look at the game, it's like neither team deserved to win. That's how the Giants-Cowboys rivalry always been to me.
Oh, my God. That is hilarious.
I don't know if I have a specific game that I'm looking forward to. Like I said, we got a Thanksgiving game, we got a Christmas game. We got the Giants week 3, we got the Cowboys week 5. I can't really say is anything I'm looking forward to specifically, but
so are we saying with our own team or just
in general? Just in general.
Oh, like
but
I said, the Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah, the Super Bowl rematch is always
rematch. We'll be
That's
pretty
like week 14 or
week
something.
11.
Week 11.
But then look, they follow up week 13. They play the Niners, and
right.
I can't wait to see that. That's another one that I can't wait to see.
That's gonna be a good one if both teams is healthy.
Yeah, it's talking about a complete slugfest. That is going to get real crazy real fast.
It's really gonna be a
11 Monday Night Football week 11.
Chiefs. How did Jets get Monday Night Football off the rip? I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers.
Another one.
They had an elite. They were a quarterback away last year from competing. You know what I mean? Like they got nothing from the quarterback position. So.
Right. So how far do they make it though? Now with Aaron Rodgers.
Huh?
How far do they make it with Aaron Rodgers?
With Aaron?
I mean, they're in a tough division though. I mean, the Bills and the Dolphins. You can't discount the Patriots.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Belichick will always find a way to coach.
He can mess up one of those.
Division member one time. Like that's how good Belichick is to coach. He'll find a way to beat you at least one time. Now it might be they might go 3-14, but he'll make sure we won our game in our division because we ran the ball 45 times in that game and threw for 3, and we still won. That's Belichick. Belichick will find a way for the Patriots to beat the division members at least one time. The Jets may not be able to say that. They still got their coaching. They still got to figure it out. So Miami got way stronger, and all depends on the health of Tua, obviously. You know, as far as they go, as far as Tua goes, as far as they go. And the Bills,
the Vikings are trading Darius Smith to the Browns.
Okay.
What he did.
So week 4 also, we'll find out what Tua, if we have a healthy Tua, we'll find out what he's made of that week because week 4 they play the Bills.
But we still
in Miami.
But we still didn't answer the question.
That's what I'm just mentioning the game. I like.
This was before Amir interrupted.
Hey, my mama said, "Hey, yo."
Hey, tell mama, we love her. Tell mama we said, "Hey," and we love her.
She sure hear you because she on the stream right now.
Hey, mama.
Hey, ma.
Happy Mother's Day, lady. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy, wonderful, lovely Mother's Day.
But Fleck, go. You was about to answer the question, sir.
It depends on how. I think the Bills are going to be the Bills. They're going to be strong. The Jets are either going to come in second or third. It depends on Tua's health. Like Amir said, it depends on Tua's health. If a healthy Tua, that Miami team is going to be tough.
Yeah, especially with Jalen Ramsey back now.
If he starts, getting them concussions, getting them little nicks and knacks here, then I think
who is Miami's backup?
Skyler something.
I thought Bridgewater left.
Oh, Bridgewater left out. That's right.
No, Bridgewater's gone. They didn't resign him.
Yeah, they didn't resign him. That's right.
Bridgewater's a free agent. Now think about it. He didn't get signed.
So he's still out there just waiting for a team. Okay. Waiting for somebody
to
go
down. Is Mike White from the Jets.
Oh, they took Mike White. Okay.
He'll throw 6 touchdowns in one game and not win another game after that.
The rest of the year.
It disappeared right off bat.
No, our buddy looking ass.
And Rob, talking about Jalen Ramsey. I do not trust Jalen Ramsey to watch a pot of water boil.
In that defense, I do.
In that defense, he ain't got to do everything.
He got Ron Holland playing center field.
He doesn't have to do everything he did before. He's just a role player in there.
Jimmy, that's rough.
He got to the Rams and he was shutting stuff down. And then the last season, it was just like.
What I'm saying is your metaphor is a little bit too rough. I think he will watch the water boil. But once it gets hot, he'll go the other way. He won't turn off the burner. He won't take the pot off. I'm just saying, like. Gotta give him all the credit, bro.
All right,
to run the other way.
I wouldn't trust him to butter bread.
Man.
People
like Eli Apple. He give all the toast.
Oh my goodness!
I think Jalen Ramsey in that defense is going to be hell.
I think he's going to be real nice in that defense as well.
When you got John Holland behind him, that defense is nasty.
Question.
I'll watch for it.
Which side do you throw to?
Offense.
Which side do you throw to?
So, Fred, question.
What's up?
What do you think will happen? And this is to you too, Amir. What do you think happens if Buffalo does not make it to the Super Bowl this year? Will Diggs stay on that team, you think? Because he's been furious the last couple of years. He has been furious, irate.
I'm surprised he's still there, honestly.
He ain't going nowhere.
At a certain point, you got to know that you're good, you're not great.
You're not great.
You know what? And they've look at their history. They went to the Super Bowl 4 straight times. They've always been the best man or the bridesmaid. Never the groom, never the bride, but they're used to it. I don't think there's something about that team. And Josh Allen could be a top 5, top 10 quarterback, which he is, but he's not clutch when he needs to be. So something's missing in that aspect. So the Bills are always going to miss something. They picked up was it Josh Harris, running back, right? That's his name, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
They got a.
You mean Damian Harris? You talking about Damian Harris?
Josh Harris is the guy who just bought the Commodore. That's always in my head. Sorry, but they allegedly got an everyday running back. Allegedly, we'll see how they use it. Allen is their everyday running back. That's just what they want to do. Maybe it's play calling. Maybe it's Josh Allen. Hey, sit your ass down somewhere, just throw passes. We don't know what it is with the Bills, but right now they're the third best team in the AFC. That's just where I'm at with that. Chiefs and Bengals is 1 and 2 until we know otherwise.
So you don't like James Cook to step up in that offense?
I didn't say I didn't like him.
He did down toward the end of the year.
Like I said, you could put it's equivalent to having Marshawn Lynch at the 1-yard line and you're still trying to throw a pass. But imagine doing that for 17 games. And that's the best analogy I can give.
So you said that Buffalo's always going to be good, not great, right?
That's how
I feel about Tennessee. They're always going to be average, not good. You know what I mean?
Average,
that's exactly how I feel about Tennessee. Wow. So I'm glad you made that analogy because they're always going to be average.
Oh, no, but you're looking at it from the inside out. I'm looking at it from the eye test. I don't have a pot to piss in when it comes to Buffalo. So I'm looking at it as a fan. You know what I'm saying? You are looking at it as you wake up the Tennessee Daily. You go to bed the Titan Bugle. Whatever you want to read, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's your life. And I get that. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, but you're used to being on the inside. You might as well be at the boardroom and be like, no, sir, no. You know, we don't see it the same. Like, I'm actually giving Tennessee a chance if everybody's healthy because of the schedule.
And speaking of health, y'all was talking about the Bills and everything. The question was just posed: will Von Miller be back?
Yeah.
Where's he going? What do you mean after this year?
No,
this year. Will he be back
from his injury?
Yeah, he just had an injury. He's fine. He'll be fine. He'll
be fine.
I gotta ask the question that the people ask.
If I'm being honest, he wasn't really.
Yeah.
At this point, anyway, he wasn't really the deciding factor in that defense at this point.
Well, before he was hurt, yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
There were certain games.
He was
certain games, but
in every game I didn't see many games he did not impact.
Whether or not he had a monster game, you had to scheme for a Von Miller.
Right.
You do.
He was always an impact in the game.
So whether or not he's actually making an impact, he's making an impact because you have to scheme for him.
Yeah, right. That's the part. That was just what I was about to say. You hit it right out the park with that one. Like, no matter what happens, you still can't overlook the fact that Von Miller's on the field. That's like J.J. Watt wasn't like the most impactful player in Arizona at the end, but you still have to plan for J.J. Watt.
You're not gonna put him out there. You're not gonna put a tackle out there on an island and just let him block him one-on-one the entire game. Like you're gonna have to scheme for that Von Miller coming off that edge.
And I'll meet you guys halfway. Would you guys saying nothing wrong? Obviously, he's a talent. Just like for the Bills, since we're on the subject, you don't want to throw Tre'Davious White side. You know what I'm saying? But that's all Buffalo got on defense. It's like they had 2 Pro Bowl corners, right? White and
Tre'Davious White. You're talking about?
Yeah, the cornerbacks.
Corner
in Buffalo. Buffalo. Who's the other one?
But outside of that, you're not really scared of their defense.
Because I was about to say, Elam was on the other side last year from Florida.
He was a safety. On the other side. Right? Elam was a safety.
He played corner last year for the Bills. Because they had Poyer and Michael Hyde and safety.
Yeah. Jordan Poyer. That's what I was thinking of. Jordan Poyer. So,
but Poyer's gone now.
They're good, not terrifying.
Did they resign him?
Yeah, he's there.
So
the one that they lost was Edmonds, the linebacker.
Edmonds.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that. Amir. Go ahead.
Sorry.
And again, if Philly don't win the Super Bowl, then are they like last year? There was not more than a play away, but. It's Super Bowl win or bust for that squad, right? For the Georgia Eagles, for the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Pretty much.
I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles and Tide. Do they have equal amount of players from both?
The North Georgia Bulldogs.
You're not. I think Philly, if anything short of at least a Super Bowl appearance, is a disappointment.
And honestly, I think they can go back. They have the pieces to go back, especially with Swift being added to the mix.
Yeah,
and depending on if he can stay healthy, it could be quite interesting.
And, you know, brought the whole team back other than Miles Sanders, and they didn't really need him.
But does I like Swift? Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking him, but is that what pushes them over the edge though? That's not what pushes them over the edge. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They played the whole postseason without Miles Sanders. Right. It was like second in rushing the whole season.
Right.
They showed that they pushed him out the door without saying we're not signing you. Next season. They changed their whole, and that's why they threw Gainwell in there more. They Boston Scott was in there a lot more. So
right.
Because it gave them that option of a pass catcher and a running back that they wanted to go to.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some other stuff real quick. Since you're talking about Philly, let's go ahead and jump right into.
But you also can't forget they got Rashad Penny too. I just thought about
that. Right. Rashad Penny. That's right.
That's a good fullback to have.
That was a kind of, it wasn't under the
radar. I like that. I like them getting Rashad Penny more than I like them getting Swift.
Yeah. Fullback's
another one, man. But he's another one. You gotta stay healthy.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fullbacks are underrated. But speaking of Philly,
he ain't no fullback. He's a running back.
Fullback?
What are you talking about?
Rashad Penny.
Rashad Penny is a running back.
You want to be a fullback is fat.
Lord help me. Father.
I made a joke that they got a good fullback.
Let me stop.
He ran with it. You got.
I didn't hear you say fullback. I heard him say fullback.
Oh, they didn't hear. They didn't hear. We was doing.
He had my back.
All right, Rob.
Hey, y'all be easy.
But speaking of Philly sports, are they gonna make it past the Celtics? Because we'll go ahead and move over real quick. Are they gonna make it past your Celtics, Fleck?
Game 7 in Boston. I tell you this much: Tatum can't wait until the final 5 minutes to start playing in Game 7 because it might be too late. If Tatum plays the way Tatum's supposed to play, Jaylen Brown gives us what he gives us, I think they got a good chance. Obviously, I'm hoping they win. But
now I heard something. I heard something funny. I think it was Tuesday. I want to say somebody said Philly can't afford for the Sixers to lose because you just had the Phillies lose, because then they go to the World Series or something like that.
Lost in the World Series to the Astros.
The Eagles lost in the Super Bowl. Didn't the Flyers lose in the Stanley Cup's playoffs or something?
They had the worst team this year, but they lost in the playoffs last year.
Right.
And their MLS squad lost in the championship.
That's the one, the MLS squad. So Philly can't really the city of Philadelphia.
I'm hoping the trend continues. Well, no, because if the trend continues, that means they're going to win Game 7 because they got to lose in the championship. I don't want them to.
But the people in Philadelphia are ridiculous, and they go tear up the city because their team lose. So
I said they used to.
Well, here's hoping they tear their city up.
I think they used to. Them losing Game 6 was their Game 7. I'm sorry to say, Boston will go out there, handle business.
See, Boston. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say what you say. I think yes, a little flippy, floppily, whipply, washily, whatever. But Boston will handle business Game 7 because they just played their worst game of the playoffs and still beat them in Game 6.
Right.
At a certain point, Jason Taylor's 1 for 15.
Right.
And they still won. And like you said, he waited to the last 5 minutes to make some. And it's not miraculous at 3 because he has all the talent in the world.
Right.
But nobody saw us going in, given how he was playing that night or last night.
Yeah.
I
think Boston wins it too.
Boston played their worst game and still won.
This series should be over already. Because Boston missed out on an Embiid-less Game 1 and let James Harden go for 45 and a win without Embiid. Like, that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
So it should be over now. But Game 7, I'm hoping they pull it out. But
I think Boston wins. Now, on the flip side of that coin, you got the Lakers and the Warriors. You got Anthony Davis getting elbowed in the face and having to go out in a wheelchair.
He got a concussion.
No, he did not get a concussion.
Did not, because he playing tonight.
I know.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm saying that's what when they took him off the court.
I've never seen anybody finish a game, get rolled out in a wheelchair on the court to the locker room. And it wasn't even like during the injury. It was like at the end of the game. Like he sat there with the little birds like his Looney Tunes. Get rolled out. Everybody is saying he's doubtful for Game 6. Then an hour later said, no, he's clear. Like Anthony Davis has the most weird things happen to that man. Like it's unimaginable.
That was LeBron going into the team doctors and like, hey, he's clear, right? No, we don't think he's cleared, right? No, we don't. He's cleared, right? Yeah, he's cleared.
I never seen reports flip-flop the way they did with him. They say he might be doubtful. They might go on concussion protocol in the morning.
They didn't
too. He's cleared all the same night.
They didn't consult with Dr. LeBron first.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, what?
That was the most ridiculous. And people keep saying they like, well, you're not gonna support your Lakers. I'm like, I haven't really supported them all year, and y'all know that. Yeah,
that's what we call him. I don't know who said he's like Mr. Glass. That's what we call him.
He is Mr. Glass. He is Mr. Glass for real. And when this LeBron experiment is over, then I'll go back to supporting the Lakers. But right now, it's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not going to be over. He's at least got the Lakers next season.
Yeah,
and then after that, whoever drafts
Bronny. Yeah.
Hey, but look, he kind of backtracked some on that. He went from wanting to play with Bronny to wanting to play either with or against Bronny. Well, so he kind of backtracked on where he was dead set on playing with him to now playing against him or with him.
Not everybody wants to play for Utah Wizards, Indiana Pacers, those teams that might be bad next year. So he may not want to go to those markets.
The Pacers have been handling their business though.
But you see what I'm saying? Like he doesn't.
Yeah,
he wants to stay somewhere
little markets like that.
He wants to be big market teams.
Right.
New York, hell, Orlando might be, but if they get Wembanyama, they're not gonna be as bad or whatever is that. You know what I'm saying? So We'll see. He might be he might go to San Antonio. San Antonio might get the first seed next year. First pick. First seed.
Oh. So while we're on the subject of the playoffs, what your Knicks gonna do tonight? Do or die?
It is do or die. I just don't like that it's do or die because I think Jimmy Butler is gonna be playoff Jimmy Butler. He shows up. If there's ever been present tense as far as somebody you could count on, and he's been more reliable than Curry has. He's been more reliable than LeBron has. It's been Jokic and Jimmy Butler, like almost 1 and 2 as far as reliability. Or Devin Booker. I thought Devin Booker had a hell of a playoffs. But outside of that,
Joker is playing lights out.
No, Steph. I'm not gonna say Steph. Steph needs to have an insane night tonight, but he's been inconsistent. Steph is not good at crunch time. You look at the numbers. Steph is not good in crunch time. Period. And this is regular season games. You never hear, Steph for the 3 for the win. No, you hear Steph for the dagger for the 3 with a minute left, put the game out of reach. But a game winner, you don't hear Clay and Steph's name when it says the most clutch shooters of all time. They're rarely ever mentioned. So it needs to be another blowout because if not, Lakers have to win tonight. Obviously,
they do.
I don't see them beating the Warriors in 7, and the Knicks have to win tonight. Sorry, Miami has to win tonight because I don't see them beating the Knicks in New York.
All right. Is Andrew Wiggins playing tonight?
The last report I saw, it was questionable. I think.
I thought he was.
Y'all go ahead. I'll check and see if they updated anything. Y'all go ahead. I'll check and see. The last thing I saw, he was questionable. They didn't know whether he was going to play or not. But I'll try to get something up to date.
Okay. Yeah, I had to run and grab something from outside. That's why I jumped off real quick. I didn't realize what was happening.
You didn't even know you was gone.
I know.
Not at all.
Did y'all talk about how the Suns were?
The Warriors are hopeful he'll play tonight. That's the last thing they said. They're hopeful he'll play. Yeah. Hopeful that he will be available. Yeah.
Putting hope in one hand and shit in the other one. Let's see who'll fill up first.
The Suns are saying the same thing we joked about last night. As far as they want CP3 and 8 and out, like they want the team to run obviously through KD and Booker. But they want that pick and roll, old-fashioned basketball out of that team.
They want to get younger at point guard. I saw where the reports are that they're going to try to go after Fred VanVleet or Terry Rozier, which I like Rozier in that. Yeah. That offense.
I don't think he's a starter though. Rozier capitalized being a backup in that Celtics team.
But what it is, he's not gonna be your first or second option. He went to Charlotte, and that's what they wanted him to be. They paid him to be the guy. He's never gonna be the guy.
No, I understand that. Role. But LaMelo played way better than him as far as
LaMelo wasn't there when Rozier got that big contract.
That's what I'm saying. No, when he got the contract, I got that because it was him and Hayward. They both got signed the same season. Then when they drafted LaMelo, they would say, you know what, we need a pass first point guard, and Rozier's not that either.
But all I'm saying is when they paid him that money, they didn't have LaMelo when they paid him that money. When they paid him that money, they paid him to come to Charlotte to be the guy.
Right.
Yeah, but he's not. We don't know that.
Because of how he was balling in Boston.
Right.
But he was like the third or fourth option in Boston.
Exactly.
He was the backup point guard to Marcus Smart. Like there was no pressure there.
Exactly. Right. That's what I'm saying. So if he goes to a Phoenix, there's no pressure because you got KD and Booker in front of him.
I'm not saying there's no pressure.
Well, I'm saying he's not going to go there and they're going to expect him to be the guy. As long as he can play his role.
I understand what you're saying. But I'm going to throw it out there and you can look at his track record. There's pressure when it comes to being KD's teammate.
There is.
And I'm going to let that sit where y'all wanted to sit, but it's not easy being on the same floor as KD.
So you think I don't know, because if Ayton leaves, that means Landale, who outplayed Ayton to me in the playoffs, Landale outplayed Ayton, which is why Landale was on the court in crucial minutes.
They still got Cam Payne. Why can't Cameron Payne be there?
But what did he do? I saw a report that they want to get rid of him too.
I like Cameron Payne.
But what did he do?
Van Vliet and Rozier would be awesome in the Suns' offense. I like Van Vliet. Van Vliet,
as Rob said, that
good at any offense. If I'm being honest, he put a lot of pressure on himself at the signing that contract last year, and you could tell.
Right. Let me ask you this question though, because we talked a lot about it throughout the year. Is this a possibility? Because they want to get rid of Ayton, they want to get rid of CP3. Is this a possibility of bringing in a Dame Lillard?
That's a great question. The numbers add up for sure. After Ayton's contract, and hell, actually no, Portland doesn't. I don't know if Portland wants to take on that much money because they made that mistake, keep extending Dame Lillard. So I don't know. Do they want the superstar off the books, but bringing on Paul and Ayton would double Lillard's contract? So we're talking money here. I don't think they'll take both. They might take an Ayton and a first-round pick, but no, they don't have any because they just gave up 4 to New Jersey.
What was the question? I'm sorry. What was the question?
I said that does wanting to get rid of Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, does that open up the door for a trade partner? And possibly what you was talking about, Amir, because they might not want to just take both of them, having a third team come in to bring Dame to Phoenix.
How would they get there? How would they get Dame to Phoenix? Isn't that kind of overkill anyway, though?
A straight-up trade won't happen because the money doesn't fit. Phoenix has too much money invested in Chris Paul and Ayton right now, and Lillard is like at 40, I believe. And I think, like I said, the Blazers don't want extra money on their books. And they can't get a first-round pick because they just traded 4 first-rounders to the Nets. So that's not an option.
And
a third team makes sense in taking Paul and giving up a first-rounder. That makes sense.
And I was about to ask, who's the Bucks point guard?
Drew Holiday?
No, Holiday. Drew Holiday was Brogdon. Drew Holiday, yeah.
And Drew Holiday can play. He would rather play the 2.
I don't think they have a true.
What are you asking though?
I'm asking, but
I'm thinking out loud.
Yeah, but I believe Drew Holiday his preference is to play the 2 guard and not the point guard.
But see, the thing is, CP3 has a 30. I mean, I'm assuming that's what you mean, like the Suns sending him to the Bucks.
Right.
Who are the Bucks going to send back?
As a third
because team. CP3 has a $30 million contract.
Would you send Chris Middleton, who hasn't been healthy?
He's a free agent. Well, he has a player option, so he's possibly a free agent.
He could be a sign and trade.
But Phoenix can't do that because they're already like $180 million. They're over the second cap. That's the thing with Phoenix. That's why anybody.
No, you move Chris Paul. Your books are wide open.
Paul. They're still screwed.
Well, because you just signed
they'll be under the second luxury tax, but they'll still be above the first one.
And you will still
read about it this morning. That's the only reason I know all.
Ayton will still get moved out of there to free up some money,
and they still would be over. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy thing. Even if that's why they have to move CP3 and Ayton and get back equal salary.
A lot of things are going to change.
They're still not getting any kind of relief.
A lot of things are going to change next season with this new CBA. A lot of players haven't played 65 games or more to be eligible like they were this year. A lot of players. So
I don't see how Dame would go to Phoenix though. I don't see how he would get there.
It's gonna be the last year for them to capitalize on that Supermax contracts. Hello, Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown, what about him?
I'm saying, he missed, a bunch of games. He wouldn't. If it had been next season, he would have been eligible for the Supermax. LeBron would have been eligible for the Supermax. AD, Dame Lillard, you know, a bunch of
too old to get a Supermax.
Huh?
LeBron's too old to get a Supermax.
What I'm saying is they didn't play the 65 games.
Right.
Next year, you have to play 65 games or more to be eligible for Supermax. To be eligible to be in the All NBA team.
But Jaylen Brown,
make sure I get the wording right.
He doesn't have to. He's already eligible. I'm confused.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown is eligible this year because you have to get voted to one of the All NBA teams, right?
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Next year, the rule is out the window.
But he played more than 65 games anyway, though.
To make the All NBA team.
He played more than 65 games anyway, though.
I see what you're saying.
I think Jaylen Brown, he missed.
Jaylen Brown didn't miss that many games, even when his nose got broke, right? I think he only missed like 2 games.
Yeah, he played 67 games.
Yeah. It was more than 2, but I was close.
Do you think teams will sit their players that don't hit the 65 game marker next year?
No. Because they would catch so much flack behind that.
But they were playing this year. Hold on now. They weren't playing this year. They were sitting down because it was back-to-back games, load management, as they call it. But now it's worth something. Exactly. That's the reason they put it in the CBA.
Exactly. So I don't think we'll see that is what I'm saying. You said, will a teams sit players from hitting 65
players down still?
No.
Because I'm pretty sure players called the games they wanted to. Like, LeBron's like, I'm not playing Saturday. I'm not playing Wednesday.
Right.
If I got a Giannis on my team, I'm not gonna sit him just so he won't hit 65 games. I want him to win games for me. I'm not gonna sit him. You know what I'm saying? He's putting butts in the seats. I'm not gonna sit him. Now, if he needs a break, that's what I'm saying. That's different. That's him asking for it. But I'm not gonna willingly say, "Hey, you're out tonight."
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
If there was ever a sport, sorry, I'm muting my own mic. If there was ever a sport where I really don't care about the regular season, is the NBA. Now the playoffs, I watch every game I can.
Playoffs?
The regular season when it comes to NBA, like you already know what the top 10 teams, especially since they did the playing tournaments. You already know the top 10 teams. It's just a matter of where they fall.
Did you know?
So I don't, if I was to miss a regular season game.
At one point, Utah was in first place in the West.
Yeah. And you know what? Whether I was watching them or not, they still lost like 30 straight. So
I'm going back to the point where you said that you already know who's going to be in the top 10.
We knew that. We knew, we were the only team that pleasantly surprised me was OKC.
Sacramento didn't surprise you?
I know. I put them in the top 10. They surprised me getting a 3, yes. But I put them in. I thought they made the playoffs this year. They finished strong last year with the way they finished.
The Mavericks not being in the top 10, none of those surprised you?
Mavericks surprised me, but once they traded for Kyrie Irving, I was like, they're done.
I'm glad you mentioned that name because I can't.
I'm just saying, like, there's no.
You cannot.
That was something about the regular season where it doesn't appease me where I have to watch them. Oh, the Knicks play the Nets on prime time. You're like, Now, the Jets and Giants play. Obviously, it's only one game, but you're like, I gotta watch that one game. That's why football, I guess, is more. And it's crazy because I say that, and I watch 162 games of baseball, and I will watch all 162 games of baseball. That's just me. I will watch random games.
And see, I'm the opposite. The regular season, if I catch a game, cool, but the regular season in Major League Baseball, I'm not going to sit there and watch all 162 games.
Hell, I was watching your team.
At least the games are shorter now.
Huh?
At least the games are shorter now.
They are. There's a lot shorter.
That pitch clock gets you. But yeah, this has been a very weird season of basketball. At this point, I really don't. I made a pick a while ago, and I said I thought that Denver was going to be the team to beat, and I stand behind that. I don't think anybody from the West is going to beat Denver. And coming out of the East, I have no idea. It's a toss up.
I'm gonna throw one caveat out there to piggyback on your statement. A healthy AD can slow down Jokic. Granted, we'll probably never see a healthy AD.
Said a healthy AD? I ain't seen that since Kentucky.
I'm just saying. That's why he's always going to be top 5 defensive player of the year. You know, he's that good. Like, you need a strong center, which we don't see at all, you know, in the NBA these days. But again, a healthy AD can do that. But he might put all his focus on defense where he might not be any good on offense. So you got to think about the flip side of that as well. But I like this Denver team, but we've been saying this for the last 5 seasons, right? Yeah. Murray and Jokic is their year. Murray and Jokic is their year.
Joker playing out his mind right now, though.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of hard to pick against them coming out of that West right now.
Right.
It's kind of hard.
I am all for the Knicks in Denver. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah. The Knicks.
Yeah. The Celtics in Denver will make a better series looking at it, but obviously I haven't been able to root for the Knicks this long into May and forever. So
yeah, I get you. Go ahead and go with your folks. I'd like Denver. I don't know what's happening, what's gonna come out the East. So whoever come out the East, may the odds be ever in your favor. But I'm sticking with my pick for Denver to go ahead and win the whole thing.
The championship?
Yep.
But we've been saying that for the last 5 years, though.
We have. I'm gonna stick with it. I mean,
and don't get me wrong, I like this Denver squad.
But you're right. We have been saying that. But the difference is Denver's healthy.
Yeah.
You didn't have a healthy Murray last year. Michael Porter wasn't healthy the year before that.
Michael Porter was never healthy.
But he's healthy now.
Right.
But on the flip side, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But then they go out and trade for Aaron Gordon last year. Like, oh snap! There's no way they can lose. Then they lose in the first round against Phoenix, I think, last year, or no, Dallas. One of those.
But Murray was hurt.
Right.
They still had a better squad than one person. Luka Doncic.
I'm saying in order for Denver, they need their pieces. Their pieces mesh, which allowed Joker to go crazy.
How if we look at it, you'll hear a random name go off like KCP. You were like, Caldwell Pope is going off? Dude, and you were like, what?
Look, I'm not even going to lie to you. Before I think he got into it or he got hit in the face or something. I didn't even know that dude was still in the league.
Oh yeah, who that was? Booker hit him in the mouth, right?
Yeah,
bleeding.
I didn't even know that dude was still in the league until then.
And every time I watch that game, it'd be Jokic and somebody random going off. I'd be like, man, I didn't know he was playing. And then they were just like for a while. It was Will Barton when they first started coming out. You'd be like, who?
I tell you one thing. I'd be real surprised when somebody decide they go they go step in front of that pick and roll behind the back pass. I mean, Murray do it every time he come down. He do the pick and roll, then he go behind the back. Somebody go figure it out. I don't.
But that shows you how disappointing the Suns were after they put that team together. Because everybody was healthy. Well, take that back. Not everybody was. KD was healthy. And that's how you look at it. You know, a healthy KD can beat anybody. But no Chris Paul. Ayton was like, yeah, I'm just going to sit out this last game because I'm just damn.
Ayton was outplayed by the backup the entire series. Landale outplayed Ayton that entire series.
Yeah. Ayton just didn't want to be there. Plain and simple.
But then he came out today and said Phoenix is where he wants to be.
Yeah.
But of course, if you're the one saying all the right things, that means they got rid of me. I don't want to leave. That tells the rest of the league I'm a team player. Exactly. I think he played it smart.
No,
because he didn't say nothing yesterday when he lost, but he said a lot today.
Last year, before they matched the offer that he got, he was trying to get out of Phoenix.
Oh, I know that. That's why, but that barely worked for him because nobody was trying to trade for him. Actually, nobody was trying to trade for him.
They didn't have to trade for him. He was a restricted free agent. It's just that Phoenix had the right to match.
Right. So this year he knows he can go anywhere. So I'm gonna be the good guy this time. I'm gonna see how this goes. So I don't blame him.
So I guess we go see. And one season's coming to an end in the NBA season, and then one starting up because the WNBA is about to start. Brittany Griner, even though it's exhibition, she's got her first game back today with the WNBA with her little fade.
It's preseason or the first season, the first game of the season is today.
It's preseason.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still preseason, but they I think they start next week or the week after. They normally start right around Memorial Day, I want to say. So yeah, let's go. That should be a good one. The Las Vegas Aces, they're the first team to have their own facility. And it's a nice looking facility. How y'all feel about that? Do y'all like that facility?
I think it's huge for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? That they're giving them their own space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the first arena that's only for a WNBA team.
And I like it.
So Vegas, everybody comes to Vegas to catch a show. You may not like Magic, but sometimes, hey, you got a night off, you go catch a Magic show. Mm-hmm. So that's what they try to bank on. Hey, there's something else to add to your schedule. How about we catch a WNBA game? Because in Vegas, they didn't have that before.
Right.
They just started with hockey and now they added football. Now, Tropicana, since we're on the subject, Tropicana has decided to sell their rights, their hotel casino, so the A's can build their stadium right there off the strip. So Vegas is about to be full-fledged sports town. So you can add that to the list of your schedule if you're in town for a week or so.
Mm-hmm. They doing it. You got the A's going over there. You got the A's. You got the Raiders. You got WNBA. If the NBA does an expansion, will they go to Vegas, or will they go to Seattle, or will they add two teams and go to both?
Can I answer your question with something dumb really quick? I'm sorry.
Go for
it. There's a group out of Orlando that wants to add a major league team. Already did a proposal. $1 billion stadium. We'll give back to the major league teams market. But there's a team an hour away from there that Major League Baseball don't support. Why would they do a franchise, a new franchise coming in when they just move an hour from Tampa Bay to Orlando? I don't understand it. That's all I have. I'm sorry. I just had to get that off my chest.
Your question, I think Seattle is probably at the front of the line to get an expansion team because of all.
Usually get two teams at a time, right? In basketball, anyway.
Well, I'm just saying Seattle's at the top of the list, I think.
Yeah, you got to even it out with both sides.
I just thought it was dumb. Like, why put a team in Orlando when you can just go an hour and go watch the team that's already there that nobody wants to see? There's always been who's the best team in the majors this year, by the way. I want to throw that out there, a little baseball talk. But yeah,
baseball talk.
Can you see if they let you call?
Hater.
Me?
Yes, you.
Why? What did I do to hate? That was me asking, what happened to baseball talk?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's outside of what we said earlier, faster time. There's not really any sports stories being developed in baseball right now. It's more jokes here and there and the Ohtani watch. That's it. Like, nobody else is really talking about.
Cardinals suck. The Yankees suck.
They don't suck, but
the Astros suck. The Phillies suck. The Mets suck.
for the money they spent in New York for the Mets, you would think they'd be a lot better. And yeah, it's just May. We get it. Nobody starts panicking around the end of June as far as your team. The Pirates just had the best record in the National League, and they lost 13 in a row. So everything's getting back to normal. I'm with you. But baseball doesn't have that many stories. It's just there, you know. I guess we'll go around the room. We'll go around the room, close it out. That's all. What you got, Fleck?
Trying to figure out. Oh, I'm watching SmackDown and your Knicks.
That's what I'm trying to go watch.
Yeah, I'm watching SmackDown and your Knicks tonight. Of course, this weekend Celtics Game 7. Your Knicks looking good right now.
They always start off fast. Then Jimmy Butler realizes in a playoff game and scores 50 somehow.
Yeah, he does that.
They're up 15 right now, or 14. I can't count.
That's a shame. Well, gentlemen, I need to go and do some things. I have family in town, so
they're fine with it.
I gotta go and do things. You said they're fine with it?
I'm so glad you're not a dinosaur.
AJ's gonna love it.
AJ's gonna get it. When he come in?
Tuesday.
My guy AJ. Let's go.
You better get as much sleep as you can now.
Please. And hide your TV. Hide the TVs.
Or at least the iPads.
Oh, no, he got his own tablet now. He good.
You still go.
When has that ever stopped him?
Still go have control of the TV.
You sent us pictures. You sent us pictures. Hold up. You sent us pictures where he's literally got an iPad, your phone, and control of.
It's a shame. Just a shame.
An iPad, your phone, and control of the TV.
It's a shame.
I can't wait.
All right, fellas. Well, with that being said, do y'all have anything else to say?
I am good. Go Knicks.
The Knicks is out there. The Lakers is out there. But here, all sports matter. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.